Hey all, Brad here with another post-repair video. This is for the same customer, Darren, that I did in the last video on the Smash TV. He'd also sent in a Joust 2 board set, had some issues, was getting some errors, wasn't sure what the issue was, so we got it on the bench and got it sorted out. These Gen 2 boards, we'll call them Joust 2, Inferno, um, Mystic Marathon, Turkey Shoot, all that kind of stuff. Um, they have two boards basically. There's the MPU and the video board, and sometimes like on Joust 2, there's also an external sound board. Some have it, some don't. So started on this one, used a known good Joust 2 set, tried the video board, had similar RAM errors, found four bad RAM. When I pulled them out, there was some corrosion on the sockets a little bit, so I cleaned all that mess up. I also went through and changed out some Molex headers, and I'll go through all that with you. So the MPU on this, however, though, was at some point in its life, someone left batteries in and it was heavily corroded, not working. And repair tech at some point went through and made a lot of repairs on it. There's a lot of traces that were patched and epoxies, and they sanded down the copper layer, the mask off into some areas and stuff. So it was pretty rough, but it is working. I did a few things. I changed the battery holder out to a CR2450 and a few other things. And then the soundboard, really nothing wrong with it from a corrosion standpoint. So I went through and did a full restore on that with all new capacitors and everything. And then after I got it on the bench, I did find that the ribbon cable that interfaces between the main MPU and the soundboard was bad. So I built a new one of those. Again, I've got a press and all three in parts. So let me switch over to the bench cam and we'll take a look at the boards and then we'll do some gameplay. So here are, this is the MPU and this is the video board, and then back here is the soundboard. And this is the new ribbon cable I made up here. And if we go in a little closer on the soundboard, you can see here these yellow guys here are the capacitors that I had put in, tantalums in many locations. So one, two, got a little 1 microfarad here, three, four, five, six tantalums, and then we've got two radio electrolytic Nichicons. And then back here in the audio output section on the amplifiers, there's two 470 microfarad and 2000 microfarad. So those are all new, cleaned it up, soundboard's rock solid. MPU here, again, I'm going to go back and kind of show that damage. You can see just the extent of these inductors are all discolored, all of the sanded off um, mass that's on there, just a lot of parts. All the transistors have been changed. PIA has been swapped. You can see this yellow gunk on here is some sort of epoxy that they put over where they did trace repairs. But it all seems to be working. I looked, the solder work looks decent. There's really, as soon as you go in and start trying to mess with this to clean it up, you're just going to make things worse many times. So in this case, it was working. I left it alone. I did change out both the headers for the audio here, and I mentioned the ribbon cable. I put the CR2450 back here and redid that a little bit, a few other little touch-ups on that board. And then back here on the video board, I did change the three electrolytics here with the correct ones. I put a new connector for the video output, the 7-pin Molex with the square pins. Cleaned the whole board, wiped it down, cleaned all the sockets on anything that was socketed, pulled all the RAM, cleaned them up because I did find three or four that were bad. Some again with the sockets were a little suspect. So the boards themselves, everything looks great now. It's been on the bench running, and we'll go ahead and switch back over and I'll boot it up and we'll do some gameplay. Give me one sec here while I get situated, and I'll switch over to the Now, keep in mind this is a vertical game, so I've scaled it here on OBS, so it's not going to be, the normal format. So let me power it up here. I've got a remote control on the old test bench here. You can see some RAM tests going on there. Testing the ROMs, doing the checksums. They're all good. All systems go. And you can see she boots right into it. So that tells us the battery, CMOS RAM, which has been replaced also, is all good. So I can go ahead and I've got my little Sony PlayStation controller that I'm able to configure for all the different games that I work on. I can map the buttons however I want. It's a device I built.
Challenge me.
Oh, the audio is working there. Let me coin it up.
Thank you.
That might be a little loud. I'm not sure how bad that is.
Thank you.
That's probably
Thank you.
So the speech is working, and I'll start a game here.
Let the jousting begin.
Oh, I thought I had him there on startup. First level complete. This one's called The Blues. So all the special effects and sounds and audio is working great. Really no issues at all. On that soundboard there is a little pot so you can balance the sound level between the speech and the sounds coming off the main board. You can play with it depending on your game and how it's set up in the room, that sort of stuff. So anyway, I'll drop it in diagnostics here real quick and we'll go through some of that. Let's see here. So it's going to retest the ROMs. RAM test as follows. No RAM errors detected. CMOS is good. And here we'll loop through. I think there's 15 sounds. Well, I'll loop through them here. Let me turn it up a little bit more.
Be careful, warrior.
Oh. This is bait.
So it just loops back through. So next screen here is a switch test. And again, I can do move left, move right, flap one. I've got coin, start, auto up, and advance. Usually when I test these, I do manually test all the inputs, even for both players and everything, which I did here. But I only map the controller since I'm down here by myself usually. So this is the grid lines where you would set up your convergence on your monitor. Again, most of these monitor test things were great, in the day. But most people have a little TPG, right? A test pattern generator that they can go through, which has like a screensaver too and all that. So not a lot of people probably use this anymore. We go RGB here, red, green, blue. Color bars after this. And then we go into bookkeeping data and game adjustment. As a matter of fact, now that I saw that, I think I'm going to go down here and do the restore factory settings. I don't remember how to toggle that, but we'll do that here maybe off screen. So then when you exit, it just goes right back to a track mode. So everything looks great. It did run overnight. I'm going to get things boxed up. I've already got the Smash TV anti-static pink bags ready to go. I'll get everything boxed up and a total and coming back to you. So
Who will challenge me?
I'm going to challenge you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good one.